Welcome to our Mock Interview Pro series, where we're diving into the role of a Chief Executive Officer. Today, we'll explore how to tackle those tough, high-pressure questions you're likely to face. Let's jump right into it with a common challenge: leading major organizational change. Can you share an experience where you had to lead a significant change in your organization and how you managed to pull it off? This question is designed to uncover your leadership style and how effectively you can guide an organization through transformation. To ace this question, keep these tips in mind. Pick a change initiative that was relevant and significant. Clearly explain why the change was necessary. Lay out the specific steps you took to implement the change. Emphasize how you communicated with your team throughout the process. Reflect on the outcomes and lessons learned from the experience. Here's an example of how you might structure your answer.
In my previous company, I initiated a major restructure to boost efficiency as our divisions were too siloed. I communicated our vision through meetings and emails, making sure everyone understood the rationale. We formed cross department teams to foster collaboration, which resulted in a 20% productivity increase. This taught me the importance of clear communication throughout the change process.
By the way, we're only covering a handful of questions in this video, but I've prepared a free PDF with all 30 top interview questions for Chief Executive Officer. It also includes example answers and tips to help you prepare with confidence. The download link is just below. Tell me about a challenging decision you've had to make recently. What was your approach and what were the results? Interviewers ask this to evaluate your decision-making skills and your ability to handle pressure. When answering, consider these helpful tips. Utilize the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. Choose a challenge that highlights your leadership and critical thinking. Describe your decision-making process, including data or consultations. Focus on the positive outcomes and lessons learned. Keep your answer concise and focused on key points. Here's a sample answer to give you an idea.
When our market share began to decline, I led a task force to reassess our position. We conducted thorough market research and consulted stakeholders. Our findings led us to revamp our marketing strategy, which resulted in a 15% sales increase within 6 months.
Can you talk about a time when you had a disagreement with a board member and how you resolved it? This question digs into your conflict resolution skills, particularly with key stakeholders. To successfully tackle this question, consider the following tips. Identify a specific conflict you had with a board member. Explain how you approached the discussion calmly and professionally. Focus on the steps you took to understand their perspective. Describe the resolution process and any compromises made. Highlight the positive outcome and what you learned from it. Let me share an example. Response for clarity.
In my last role, a board member was against a strategic partnership I proposed. I arranged a one-on-one meeting to hear their concerns. Through our discussion, we realized our values aligned, but our approaches differed. By adjusting the proposal for additional oversight, we reached a consensus, which strengthened the partnership and underscored the importance of open stakeholder communication.
Imagine that we need to double our customer base within the next year. How would you tackle this challenge? This is to assess your strategic thinking and growth management capabilities. Consider these strategies when forming your answer. Analyze the current customer demographics and behaviors. Identify potential new markets or segments. Develop targeted marketing strategies for existing and new customers. Enhance the product or service offering to meet new customer needs. Leverage partnerships or collaborations to expand reach. Here's an example of how you might respond.
I would start by analyzing our current customer data to understand their needs and preferences. Then, I would explore new market segments that align with our offerings. I'd develop targeted marketing campaigns and enhance our services based on customer feedback. Finally, I'd pursue strategic partnerships to help us reach these new customers.
Suppose our company needs to cut costs by 20% without compromising operations. How would you achieve this? This question is aimed at understanding your cost management strategies and ability to maintain efficiency. Here are some pointers to help you answer effectively. Analyze current expenses to pinpoint non-essential costs. Engage with department heads to uncover efficiencies. Invest in technology to automate repetitive tasks. Review supplier contracts for negotiation opportunities. Cultivate a cost-saving culture at all levels. Here's an example to illustrate a strong response.
First, I would conduct a thorough expense analysis to identify potential savings areas. For instance, if certain subscription services are underutilized, we could eliminate them. I'd also engage with department heads to discover efficiencies and streamline processes. By renegotiating supplier contracts for better terms, we could further reduce costs without affecting our operations.
Before we wrap up, remember you can get all 30 questions, example answers, and step-by-step tips in a handy PDF. Totally free. Just grab it below.